Now, just before we start, I especially want to acknowledge one person who's been very near and dear to our program. And he has been someone who embodies what I think we are all about. Jim was our dear friend and patient. The privilege of caring for Jim knows no bounds. Ken and I first met Jim as a referral from Dr. Robert Kyle, another giant in myeloma, 23 years ago, in fact, to be precise. His journey with myeloma started in 1992. And Jim arrived and had been offered hospice as his next stop, or coming on to a clinical trial at that time that Ken and I were leading, which was bortezomib. Unfortunately, 2 transplants previously had failed him. An allo transplant from his sister had very sadly failed him. And he'd been told, go and see Ken and Paul, or unfortunately, we have really no more options. The unique story about Jim is beautiful because his unique patient number on the study, amazingly and quite coincidentally, was 007. And of course, he was James Bond. And I'll never forget the story because he called Ken and I and he was asking how things were going. And Ken quipped in and said, precision medicine, Jim, your UPN number's 007, you're going to respond. And amazingly, much as that was tongue in cheek, it was absolutely true. He had a complete response within 6 weeks to bortezomib, and that was in 2001, 2002. And we lost Jim in December of last year, not from myeloma. We lost Jim last year from complications of graft versus host disease for the allo transplant he needed because of secondary leukemia that he got, unfortunately, from his transplant many years before. So he didn't die of myeloma. He died of complications from graft versus host disease, and he speaks volumes to our future. And this is, and our past and all that we stand for. This is a beautiful collage from Kathleen, his wife. She sends her love to everyone. She's looking forward to joining us in years to come. I'm sure you can understand today was a little too close for her, but she shared all of these pictures with you, and to just say to us and convey from Kathleen her love and her wishes for a wonderful meeting today. Jim, without fail, was our inaugural speaker for every single patient symposium for the last 12 years, in fact. So it's a very special moment to remember Jim, an extraordinary man and a wonderful father, husband, and someone who really made a difference. The last comment I'd make is he wrote a book, which I recommend you read, The Man in the Arena, which he published a few years ago. It's readily available, and it's quite honestly an extraordinary book.